Welcome to the third round action of the ANZCRL Ferrari 355 challenge. I am your commentator for tonight's Saturday 15. Solo once again. And yeah, should be a good race. If you missed out on watching last week's two races, the championship looks like this. In first place is Chuck Racing after winning both rounds last week. Sits on 100 points. The maximum you can earn in a race is 50, so off to a great start for him. 18 points ahead behind him is Data Racer, who's sitting in second place. Was in the second lobby last week and put two great performances, and very consistent driver is Data, and he's hoping to carry on his good form that he showed last week. Third place is Taipan Samurai. He's 24 points behind Chuck Racing on 76 points. Had a solid outing, including a great battle with Squid, which unfortunately got caught up in a bit of side pod glitching, or B-pillar glitching as it were, in these cars, which was very unfortunate, as it was a great battle to watch in the round 2 race. Chad's in fourth, did alright, but he'll be wishing to do a bit better here at the tight streets of Monaco. With Dark Racing in 5th place. It was an okay weekend for him. He showed good pace, but a couple of mistakes cost him dearly in the end. AJ is 7th in the championship of the guys in the lobby. Again, he was in the second lobby last week, and he seemed to do alright, which has put him into the top lobby for tonight. And Squid had a race weekend from hell last week. He sits in 9th place in the standings, although getting the front row start last week, it was looking promising, but then a spin in the first race and the B-pillar glitchy contact with Taipan in the second race really cost him dearly. The drivers that are not in this lobby tonight, Triple Rotor Racing is in 6th place in the championship. He's in the second lobby that we're running. As is Sam Pappy in 8th place, Gear 3 Gaming in 10th place, Woody Lizard in 11th, Whopper 12th, Simo Racing 13th, and we have two newcomers in Right Sower and Blade Racer, who are also in the second lobby, so they'll be 14th and 15th place in zero, with 0 points. The way we're working with this championship at the moment is because we're having a few lobby issues for this championship. We're splitting the lobbies into 2. We have 15 runners, but we have to split that in half. So there's seven drivers in this lobby and 8 drivers in lobby 2. So that should provide some good racing for you guys tonight. Of course, we have pretty much the top 7 drivers and Squid in this lobby. Triple Rotor is the only top 7 driver not in this lobby, but you should be able to do well in lobby B, and we might see him in here next week. Of course, I won't be commentating next week. I'll be hoping to make a league racing return. So if you follow me on Twitter at _Sato15, I will update on where the stream will be moved to if we have a stream next week. So if you follow me on Twitter, that's where you will get all the updates regarding this championship. Alright, here now in qualifying, we're seeing Shad's the early front runner, 143.8. He'll be looking to bounce back after what was a tough round 1 for him. Round 2 at Catalunya went pretty well for Shads. I think he got a 3rd place in the end. Squid is also looking to back up, or bounce back rather, from a horrible round 2, as I mentioned earlier. But sitting second place at the moment, a 1:44.2. It's a bit off what Chuck was doing in practice, but who knows? If he can get a couple of second places tonight, the championship could open right back. Chuck racing a 1:46.9. He's struggled to set a lap time tonight. When he's set a lap, he's been really quick, but it'd be interesting to see. Our championship leader, of course. Maybe he's looking for a bit of a challenge. Maybe might start from the back. Who knows? But I was seeing 1 minute 40s in practice from Chuck, which is far and away, better than the other guys. As Darky's actually done a 1:43.5. I've just noticed that pop up on the screen. A bit of pace in that 107 Ferrari. So Darky will be looking to get another solid showing out here and try and claw his way up the championship table as well. Maybe try and crack that top 3. Oh, he's hit the wall there. Coming through Portier. Hopefully there's no damage in that car so he can continue moving. But yeah. As Chuck is throwing the gauntlet down now, a 1:42.4, and it's probably 2 seconds off what he was doing in practice. So I'll be interested to see how he goes. As we'll jump on board the roof cam of Chuck Racing, come down towards Mirabeau Top. Second gear, try and keep the car off the wall. It's a very you've got to balance the car quite a bit around here. He's sticking in second gear through the Grand Hotel hairpin, which is interesting. Second gear through Portier and down into the tunnel. Go through the gears. Not a lot of downforce on these cars, so does he lift? No. There's not a lot of horsepower either, which provides good racing in this championship. Oh, he's locked the rears, and he's hit the wall. Oh, and he's hit the wall! He hit the wall at the exit of the Nouvelle chicane. And that puts pay to his lap. Very unfortunate for Chuck. It looked pretty decent lap there. I would have put money on him improving there. Oh, a bit of traffic here. Looks like it's Darky and Taipan very close. As this Taipan ghosted. That is interesting. No, yeah, they've ghosted. That is very interesting. Well, not expecting that. But I'm guessing Darky. I'm guessing Darky hasn't been to the pit lane yet, so that could it's one of those glitches that this game has, is if people join the session or join mid-session, then they don't get or they're unable to. Gee, I'm losing my train of thought here. Darky comes across the finish line. Is he going to set a new lap? He's 5/10 slower. So a couple of mistakes in that lap for Darky as he tries to improve. Squid's done a 42.5 on the previous lap and will be looking to go even faster this lap. Just 1.5 tenths off Chuck at the moment is Squid as he tries and balances the car through the Nouvelle chicane. Shads is behind him. Shads has spun. He's hit the wall. Oh, that's unfortunate for Shads. He was also on a fast lap trying to crack into the 42s. And he's still gone, so maybe he's been able to escape damage, but that's the thing with these cars. Even though they don't have a lot of horsepower, there's not a lot of rear end grip in the cars. As, yeah, it's the end of the session now. Squid, of course, not going quicker. Taipan, can he improve? He's done a 44.7. He had a lot of pace at Catalunya last week, and he'll be looking to go even better this week. Slowing down. Is he gone too hot? Did he cut that corner too much? He is less than a tenth up. 400ths of a second up on his fastest lap. Now he's backed off. He had to slow down. Now Dado's on track. He hasn't set a lap yet. He's had trouble keeping the car on the circuit by the looks of things. It's either that or he's joined very late. Down into the Nouvelle chicane. Yeah, that's a better line through there, better than Taipan, and that will mean that he can set a lap in this session through to back now. He needs to beat a 44.7 to avoid being last on the grid. Of course, he showed a lot of pace in the second lobby last week, and he's second in the championship. Going through Rasgas now. Oh, right up against the wall goes Dado. Through the final corner and down the run to the line. Where does he go? Across the line, and we'll wait and see where he has gone. Qualifying's over. Oh, he's just missed out, and will finish 7th. So the grid for this race, Chuck Racing on pole. Chuck's not letting me watch the view the results screen. He's host for tonight. Chuck qualified first, Squid second, Darky third, Shads fourth, AJ qualified in 5th, with Taipan in 6th and Dado in 7th. So, we're getting set for race time. It's going to be a dry race, 13 lap sprint race for these guys. This race will be all about keeping off the walls, and if Squid can get the jump on Chucky into turn 1, it is a very tough track to overtake, and it could create a curveball for Chuck's championship bid if Squid can jump him. But we'll see what will happen in just a few seconds as we're waiting for drivers to get their setups perfect. Some drivers have a qualifying setup and a race setup, so it'll be interesting to see what the pace is like in this race. Still waiting for drivers to join the grid. Of course, if you don't ready up in time, people will miss the starts, so you don't want to leave your setup changes too late. But these drivers, among the fastest in the Oceania region, we're now getting ready for the start. 3 red lights, it's lights out and away we go. Doing my best Crofty impression as we run into turn 1 now. Chuck's got a great start. Holds first from Squid, who's right up his rear wing. Shads has jumped at Darky's missed the start. Oh, this is going to be a drama here. Dado's got a ripping start. He started from 7th place and he's now up into 4th and hustling Shads to try and get P3. So he goes Chuck, then Squid, then Shads, then Dado, then Taipan, then AJ. All pretty much nose to tail, as is the case usually at Monaco lap 1. As Shads is actually starting to gap Dado, and Taipan is putting the pressure on Dado Racer. And he's going defensive into Portier. That could cause trouble heading into the Nouvelle chicane. Into the tunnel we go. Taipan, are they going to go side by side? He's looking down inside, but that corner is too quick to make a move. And has cost himself a bit of time there, Taipan, and Dado will hold on to P4. Oh, that's a corner cut for Dado. Will he get a slowdown here? That could give Taipan 4th place as we head into Tabac. Now, will Dado have to lift off? He hasn't yet. Oh, he's gone quite slowly into the swimming pool chicane into Raskas now. Will drivers use first gear? No. Oh! Dato's understeered at Raskas and he's into the wall. Now AJ looking to pass Dato but can't quite do it. Meanwhile, looks like after that hectic first lap, apologies there, but Chuck Racing in the lead, as has been the case in many championships for ANZCRL. But Squid's not letting him get away in a hurry. In second, Shad's a bit of a way back in third, and then Taipan in fourth place, making the most of that mistake by Dato Racer. Dato in fifth won't be happy with his mistake and will be trying to claw his way back up under the wing of Taipan. AJ in sixth. Not sure how he will fare here. He was probably where you would expect him to be against this caliber of drivers, but you never know. If drivers make mistakes, AJ could pounce. Through Nouvelle Chicane we go, and Squid is making Chuck honest at the moment. Of course, I'm not sure what Chuck's game plan is at the moment, but at the moment, Squid is putting the pressure right on the multiple championship winner. Into Raskas we go. That gap looks like it's getting smaller. Through the final corner as we end lap 2, and this might prove to be a very good battle for first place. Through Sendavot and up the hill towards Massenet. Oh, was that a bit wide from Squid there? That lost him a little bit of time. Yeah, he's dropped back to almost a second now to Chuck. So Chuck's car clearly much better balanced than Squid's car at the moment. Of course, Chuck is he's an excellent engineer when it comes to creating these setups. So that is part of the reason why he's been so quick for so long. Into the tunnel we go for the third time. And yeah, it looks like Chuck is now starting to spread his legs. Took him a couple laps to get used to the fuel load, the tyre grip, time of day and everything. And yeah, he's starting to pull away from Squid now. But Squid has got a gap out to Shads now, so if these drivers can keep it clean, Squid will be particularly happy with this second place, but we've still got a long way to go. There's still 9 to 10 laps left in this race, so anything can happen in that time. Looks like Dato and AJ are going to be having a battle soon. This is for the last points paying position. Well, I say that, it's in this lobby. We don't know what's happening in the other lobby. So results from here are likely to change, as Dato's getting a lot of understeer at Raskas at the moment. That car is not handling well. It'll be interesting to see if he can hold it on through this race. Of course, if you can complete the 13 laps without getting major damage, and you can finish pretty high up, you'll do very well in the championship, as it is a very tough circuit. Into Massenet for these two. Looks like Dato's getting the gap out just a little bit, exiting Casino Square now and down towards Mirabeau Top. And it looks like this race has settled down quite a bit now. As we have a look at Chuck now, exiting the tunnel, he's got a 1.6 second lead over Squids. He's just spreading his wings just a little bit. That car balanced very well. Whereas you see Squid in the background, he's having to push to try and keep up. That car is not set up optimally. Or right on the rev limiter in third gear for for Chuck Racing. He's got that car singing through Raskas now and through the final corner. I can never remember that name of the last corner. As we complete lap 4, and Chuck has got his lead to 2.3 seconds. This has been a masterful display from Chuck once again. As we start lap 5, exiting Sandoval, up Beau Rivage. And look at the lap times. Chuck almost into the 41s at this early stage, which is excellent pace from him. Squared doing 42.7s, which is actually pretty quick considering the rest of the field. Shad's a 43.4, just can't quite match Chuck and Squid at the moment, and you won't be too pleased with that. I know Shad's likes to have a high standard of his driving, so as he goes through Mirabeau bottom now and through Portier, he is almost 10 seconds behind Chuck. Let's take a look at the fuel load. You see Chuck and Squid have filled their cars up quite a bit. They're allowing a bit of margin for error. You have a look at Shad's, he's only got just over 19 litres of fuel, so we would assume that's enough, but Shad's likes to run on the edge, so to speak, when it comes to his fuel loads and stuff, trying to get that optimal performance. Taipan also on 19, in fact less fuel than what Shad's is running, so he's running even more on the edge. Dado Racer 19.5. In fact, AJ, oh, did he hit the wall there? Was that him hitting the wall? Was that a bit of desync? We don't know, but these guys have been pretty close all race. Oh, very deep for AJ. He'll be fancying a move in the next few laps if he can get closer to Dado through Raskas in that final corner. Probably the only action we have on the track really at the moment, as we go up through Beau Rivage and up into Massenet. And it looks like in the first part of the lap, Dado's actually a fair bit quicker than AJ. In fact, AJ, has he had a problem? He's dropped way back now, as AJ hit the wall. He's just lost a lot of time. We'll keep an eye on him here. In fact, he's the only guy that's using first gear through these corners. But yeah, that is a shame for AJ, as he's run wide into Portier. That car is not, well, it's not handling very well at the moment. But the car's running quite hot at the moment. Oh, that car looks very unstable under brakes. So the car's got a bit of a problem. Will we see him make an unscheduled pit stop? Well, these guys will be looking to run to the end in these sprint races. Of course, 2 races each night. When this race is finished, we'll have a bit of a break, and then we'll be back for round 4, which will be held at Imola, which these guys will be looking forward to, especially after this race. Yeah, he's now 2.5 seconds, getting close to 3 seconds behind Dado now is AJ, so bit unfortunate for him. He was fancying getting a move for 5th place, but looked like a bit of a mistake through between Beau Rivage and Massenet has cost him a lot of time. He's still going, so maybe his car's not handling too badly. Oh, that looks quite wide through Massenet, but a lot of drivers are actually looking like that, so I don't know. He's missing a few apexes, so that could be a sign the car's not working to his liking at the moment. Oh, very deep into Mirabeau top. But it looks like he's actually starting to catch Dado again. Got that red mist descending now. Is Dado going slowly? Hard to say. It looked like he lost a bit of time going through Portier into the Nouvelle chicane now. Oh, Dado's car's actually looking quite slow at the moment. Has he got some damage? It's hard to say from here. The cars look pretty clean, so maybe these guys are just making mistakes, trying to pull away from one another and catch up. Oh, that's a big mistake from AJ. I reckon that could be a slowdown if he's not careful. Dado using second gear through Rasgas. I reckon AJ's using first, getting that bit of extra point. The problem with these cars though is that the first gear can be quite short unless you adjust it. So I think AJ's going for a longer first gear to try and get some better turn, but sacrificing some acceleration, which might be why Dado is able to pull, exiting Sandoval. Into Massenet now. Dado running a much tighter line that lap than what he has previously. It looks like he's cruising, trying to get to the end. We're on lap 8 of 13, so there's still 5 and a bit laps to go. And AJ's closed right up to Dado. Dado's gone very slowly through these slow corners. So I wonder if there is a bit of damage, maybe suspension damage for his Ferrari. It's a Nouvelle chicane, and yeah, Dado not able to point his card where he would like it. And AJ's got a real chance to get 5th place here. Probably the only battle on the track at the moment, but it looks a good one for this track. Oh, very wide for AJ. Did he get a slowdown for that? It's hard to say around this track because a very tight line for AJ through there. Oh, very slow through Rasgas. And looked like he ran a little bit wide and it's cost him a tiny bit of time. Now Dado's got a little bit of breathing room, but he can't afford to make a mistake. AJ with the lights on, he's telling Dado that he is coming. Or was that a bit of a wiggle from AJ? These guys will be pushing quite hard, trying to hold on to 5th place. And that will be valuable points for these two if they want to stay in the top 7 of this championship. As we know, Triple Rotor is in Lobby B and... Oh! Oh, there's been some contact here. Dado had a slowdown. I'm guessing he had a slowdown. I don't know where you'd get a slowdown at that part of the track. But AJ's running to the back of him and now has no headlights, so there's a bit of damage to AJ's car. I'll be interested to see how this plays out over the next few laps. AJ will not have liked what had happened. But Dado trying to do everything he can to keep that number 3 Ferrari ahead. As we have 4 laps remaining. No, 5 laps remaining, I'm sorry. Don't have the maths right at the moment. As AJ's backed off quite a bit. Something's happened to him, has he? Car probably not handling very well. Is he going to pit? No. Not when there's 4 laps to go. But AJ won't be happy at the moment. Or hard on the gears as he changes down the second. Because these cars, being from the 1990s, they've have H pattern gearboxes, which Oh, that's wide for AJ through Massenet. But the H pattern gearboxes means that if you're using a H pattern shifter, you can shift gears more effectively than if you're using just a sequential or paddle shift. The variety of different strategies you can use, but I think most of these guys will be most of the guys I've spoken to in this championship use a Logitech G920, where the shifter probably isn't as effective than if you used a Thrustmaster product per se. So I'll be interested. Looks like AJ. Oh, that's a quad. Wow. Did Data get a slowdown for that? It's hard to say because these corners are so slow that you can often get away with that through these corners. Through Louis Chiron and into the swimming pool chicane for AJ. He's closing back up to Datto. It's sort of been a seesawing battle this one, where AJ makes a mistake, but then he's got the pace to claw it back. I think AJ probably would have passed Datto already if he could avoid making some of these mistakes that he's made. These guys are now about 37 seconds behind Chucky at the moment, who is probably halfway through lap 11 at the moment. As AJ's actually really close to Datto now. It's about half a second the gap as they enter Massenet now. It looks like Darky might have had a power outage or something. They've gone side by side. AJ and Datto side by side. AJ down the inside into Massenet, but he's gone deep. Datto's trying to stick his nose in. Can't quite do it. And AJ is taking 5th place. This has been a great comeback drive from AJ. A few mistakes here, but has finally got his man. Datto moves down into 6th place now. He won't be very happy with that. Datto's car has not worked for him so far today. On the run to Tabac now. And AJ will be trying to use this time to really spread his wings and try and get a gap out to Datto. Can't quite get the optimal line through the swim pool chicane, but hasn't seemed to hurt him so far. First gear through Raskas, and that seems to work well for him. Of course, his gears are probably set. I reckon his gears are set longer than most of the other competitors as they cross the line to start lap 12. 2 laps to go. As we jump on with Chuck Racing at the moment. Another commanding performance from him. He's got that gap to Squid to up around 14 seconds. Was Squid, oh my bad. Trying to or Squid, mistake for Squid. And was that car in neutral? I don't know what's going on there, but it's bringing Shads back into the game. He's now closed in on Squid. Oh, Squid. Wow, that car's not handling very well. And yeah, Shads is now in the game. And we'll be looking to try and get 2nd place as we start and head towards that last lap. Shads will have the red mist descend now. He's had these 2 drivers have had a tough time in this championship. Both made critical errors, and have been looking at this race to make amends for their poor start. As we head up Beau Rivage for the last time. Can Shads pass Squid? It'll be a tall order. In fact, it'll be a tall order at any track, particularly at Monaco. The car's looking a bit wounded for Squid at the moment. not quite getting that same performance that he once did at the start of the race. And Shads will be licking his lips. 1.5 seconds the gap at the moment as they go through the Grand Hotel hairpin, through Mirabeau, now through Portier, into the tunnel we go. Looks like the gap has stabilised a little bit in the last lap, so maybe it's just a couple of mistakes from Squid in the previous lap has helped Shads catch up. Hard on the brakes, oh, very skatey in the braking zone for Squid. I think Shad's run a little deep into the Nouvelle chicane. That might have cost him a bit of time. Through to back we go. Through Louis Chiron and into the swimming pool chicane for Squid. He's had a solid last lap so far as we jump on with Chuck, who crosses the line to win. Round 3, that is 3 in a row for Chuck Racing. And he's proving why he's one of the best drivers, or probably the best driver in the entirety of ANZCRL. As Squid holds on to second place. Very well done drive for Squid, considering what a tough time he had in rounds 1 and 2. Shad's in third as well. Back on the podium for him. He'll be happy with that. Maybe wanted second place, but still a podium, not a bad thing to settle with. Taipan crosses the line now in 4th place. Probably wanted to do maybe a bit better, but 4th place weren't doing much well, and being in clean air, you will probably hold on to that 4th place. AJ crosses the line in 5th place. Has had a tough race, but managed to get Dado at the end, as Dado crosses the line in 6th place. Hard to say where AJ and Dado will finish, as we won't be able to find out what happens in Lobby B until after the racing's finished tonight. But that's the finishing positions. Chuck Racing, what a win for him today, with Squid in 2nd place. Had a fair bit of pace, but couldn't quite get that very consistently, and finished 20.5 seconds behind Chuck. Shad's in 3rd, Taipan 4th. AJ and Dado had a ripping battle for most of that race, with AJ managing to hold on to 5th place. Dado struggled at the end and will finish in 6th. And that is it for round 3 action. We'll be having a short break and we'll be back for round 4.